Welcome again. Welcome back. I so appreciate you taking time out of your day to come and watch me talk about business credit, and I so appreciate it. If you need to contact me, again, the name of our company is BusinessData and Consulting. My name is Charles White. You can reach me at charles@businessdata123.com, or you can contact me at info@businessdata123.com. Today we're going to talk about, as in previous videos, business credit. More specifically, we're going to talk about how to reach $75,000 in business lines of credit for your business in under 60 days. The previous ones were 25 days, 25,000 and 50,000 in 30 days. But today we're going to talk about how to reach 75,000 in 60 days. As previously, I will provide graphs throughout the video so you can watch, sit back and relax and enjoy on how to move your business forward. Now, but first, before I get started, I want to make sure about some things because I know my information is not for everyone. I'm specifically talking to business owners and those who are in the progress of having a business that has a revenue stream. It's very important that you have a revenue stream. And the reason why is that in the past, encountered too many problems with business owners wanting to get lines of credit but don't have a way of repaying creditors. I stay away from that business, and I want to stay only with customers who actually have a revenue stream. And preferably, you've been in business for at least 1 year, but preferably 2 or more years. Okay, with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Now, the first things first is that I'd say you need articles of incorporation. Make sure those are all in order. Make sure that you have your Dun & Bradstreet profile. Make sure you have your Experian profile. Make sure you have your Equifax profile. Make sure that you're in 401 directory services. Make sure that preferably you're in a commercial area. Make sure that you also have relationships with 2 or more banks. And I said that previously in previous videos, so they won't come anything unusual to you. As I said previously, we establish a foundation. The first foundation is becoming bank compliant. I will include not a graph, but I'll include some information about what it means to become bank compliant. The second step is we have net 30 and have those reporting. The fourth step is making sure we have revolving credit and have some of those reporting. Now, can you do this under 60 days? Yes, you can. And if you look under the notes, under this video, I'll have more information about that. And again, if you want more questions, feel free to reach out to me and I will help you. So, let's say that you've got everything else in order and you're like, Charles, I'm ready to go. Okay. Well, the first step first is that you belong to at least 3 banks at this time. So let's say that you belong with HSBC, Wells Fargo, and Chase Bank. Because you have everything in order, you have your bank statements in order. And what I mean by bank statements, which means that your monthly deposits in order from your incorporation and for your account. Also, what you already know too is that you already know what your sales are going to be too. And I mentioned this before, making sure you know what your average sales are for your industry, for your area. That's key. Average sales for your industry, for your areas. And there's ways of you pulling that historical data so that you know that before you walk into the bank. The second thing we're going to do is that after we establish the bank we're going to make sure we write down the name of the officer of the bank that we're talking to, the business manager. We're going to be talking to, make sure we write down the name of the branch name, all the rest of the information so far as email addresses, fax numbers, phone numbers. The reason why, if there's an issue or problem, we'll make sure we want to reach back out to that bank manager with the solutions that they say that they have. Okay. Now, when you sit down with the bank and you have all this information, the first thing they're going to offer to you is that they're going to offer you 5 things. They're called 5 arms. They're going to offer you, we want you to start a checking service, which you should already have, savings account, which you should already have. They want a bill pay service, ATM debit card, and a credit card. Those are called 5 arms. The reason why they're called 5 arms is because there are 5 different revenue streams for the bank. I remember years ago, I was talking to Wells Fargo, one of the representatives there, and Wells Fargo, all the managers were on a quota about how many business accounts they could sign up. And I would ask them, like, well, even when you guys turn somebody down, why do you take on so many business customers? Because a lot of people would apply. And I have a quiz for you. And you can tell me the answer to this, maybe I'll send you out $1 or something. But here's the question. How many business lines of credit does Wells Fargo turn down before they allow one to be funded? Think about this until the end. How many do you think out of 100 accounts, how many? But if you knew my method is like 99 out of 100 get funded. So it's kind of like quite the opposite. But let me ask you, how many do you think? So anyway, as I was sitting down talking with them, they said, well, Charles, the reason why we want those customers is because we know they produce revenue streams. So let's say they don't qualify for a line of credit. That's fine. We have their checking, we have their savings, we have bill pay, we have their debit card. Each one of those represents a revenue stream. Think about that. So that's why they'll always advertise for you, and that's why they always want you to come to the bank. So we sit down with Wells Fargo, or we sit down with HSBC, we sit down with Chase, and the first thing they'll say to us is that, why are you here? And you will say, I'm here for a line of credit for my corporation. The second thing is they'll say is that, do you want to personally guarantee or not guarantee? My first step is always to say, I wish not to personally guarantee. Now, because of Homeland Security and other issues, they'll ask for additional information, but you always want to push for non-guarantee of a line of credit, even if it means a lesser amount. The reason why things go sideways, you want to make sure that you're protected. Now, if the amount is large enough and your position of your company is where you need the money, go ahead, because you can always negotiate later to go back to be taken off of those lines of credit once they're paid down. That's just something to keep in mind. But usually the bank will offer you anywhere, if you've done things properly, they'll offer you initially about $20,000, $15,000, $20,000 as a line of credit, and they'll offer you $10,000 on a credit card. So let's say $15,000 on a line of credit, $10,000 on a credit card, which is $25,000. You do that with the first bank, you'll do that with the second bank, and with the third. The third will give you a little bit less, because what's going to happen is that you're going to start entering into systems. They're going to say, well, okay, they're asking for a little bit more, but they'll still probably offer you that, and sometimes even a little bit more. So you have to think about, so within the first 60 days, not only have we got $25,000 from bank 1, bank 2, and bank 3, but now we have 3 different accounts that have $25,000, plus we have the revolving credit of different credit cards also, and you should have anywhere between, and just in my estimation, depending on, I'm talking in general, anywhere between $20,000 to $50,000 cumulative on credit cards with that. So realistically, in the first 60 days or so, you should be looking at anywhere between $75,000 to $125,000 and able to draw down in cash receivables for your business. Now, I'm passing over a lot of things just because it takes time to explain to you every single step you need to make. I'm giving you as much information as possible so far as the graphs, which you need to have, making sure you become bank compliant. But there's little tiny things you need to know. Your loan officer, your business officer, the bank, they can tell you. But if I told you, I would tell you from an objective, I can't think of the right word, but I would be telling you from a point where I don't represent the banks. I deal with all banks. Every bank has a personality. You always want to be with more than one bank. You want to play one bank off the other. So if Wells Fargo offers you 25 or 75, you can say, wait a minute, Chase just offered me 75. You guys can't do anything better. And if they see and they go to the records, they're like, wow, okay, yeah, we can offer you something. They'll do that. So you want to do that. The second thing is that you do not want to spend any of the money from lines of credit until you get to your goal. Here's the reason why. As soon as you start drawing down, you're taking money from the bank. It's going to count against you. No matter what they say, it's going to count against the score they have for you. So my suggestion, as a guru, is that you don't spend anything from what they've given to you until you reach your goal. So if your goal is, I need to get $250,000, you don't use anything until you get to $250,000. I need to get to $500,000, you don't spend anything until you get $500,000. Second thing is that you always want to make sure you have a revenue stream. Always have a revenue stream. With no revenue stream, everything can come down. Also make sure that you pay all the bills that you have on time. If you are borrowing, make sure you pay back everything on time, in fact, ahead of time. It will do wonders for you. You'll love it. But however, if you don't, it will hurt your business so bad. and all you'll have yourself is to blame, because you could have had so much more. I know my best customers, they get $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 and more for their business, and then they're pretty happy. They're like, well, Charles, I don't need any more. I got 600,000 lines of credit. What do I need any more for? I have a revenue stream. If I see a property that's $200,000, well, great, I can just go write a check and then refinance and pay it back, and the bank's offering me more money. Because that's how it is, because the more you use successfully and pay back successfully, the more they're going to offer you. And someone asked me, is there a limit? The answer is no. And here's the reasons why. If you go back and look at, say, Financial Times of London, which is the orange paper, Wall Street Journal, Barron's, and others, if you look in the middle section, you can see all the types of lines of credit these corporations are getting: $300 million, $400 million, $1 billion, $2 billion, $7 billion line of credit. But the principles are all the same. See, they've laid the same foundation, but they're doing it at a larger level because their revenue streams are larger. And then they're able to cross-correlate, okay, we have certain assets here, we have more revenue here, here's what's coming up. They can vouch for us. We'll do a club loan and get larger and larger and larger. My time here is to teach you as a business owner that yes, you can do it. Yes, you can get larger. Your business can grow. But as I said in the previous video, what I don't want to see is you taking the family money, sticking it into a business, then having the business go sideways. Once that money's gone, it's gone. And your wife is looking at you strange because now she's talking about separation because you took $300,000 of money, the family's money, you lost it. Versus taking that $300,000, sticking it with Charles Schwab, TD Ameritrade, Fidelity, having the money sit there and using that money as a reference for your business. And you can even put it into a trust so that you can borrow against it, but someone's going to sue you. They can't just come and grab the money. You can always have the money as an asset. See, once money comes in, you want to keep it. And you don't want to use that money for things that you're not quite sure about. With business lines of credit, business goes ups and down. Banks will come back if you can't make the terms. You still can pay it down. They'll forgive you. They don't care. It's business. Hey, it's all business. But your family is your family though also. So let's reiterate. Let's back it up, as they say. First step first, bank compliance. Second step, net 30 days. Third step, revolving credit. Fourth step, and I didn't mention this previously, but I mention it now, we have credit cards. Then we go to the banks, and then we get the money. Please stay tuned. I have more videos coming up. You can watch the previous videos, which I would, because I include more information there. Look at the PDFs, look at some of the other information, contact me by email, contact me by phone. I think with my phone number. If not, contact me by email and I'll get back to you, and learn to grow your business the smart way and the right way. My name is Charles White, and my company's name is BusinessData and Consulting, and I'll be more than happy to help you. Please watch the next video, and I look forward to talking to you soon.